And my question is, when do you feel out of control?
I feel out of control quite a lot of the time because I'm unemployed.
Oh, right, okay.
And I just find things overwhelming at times. Just I get loads of hassle off the unemployment office.
So who do you think's got control in that situation?
The unemployment office.
So the powers that be.
Powers that be, yes.
How did you find yourself in that situation?
Through ill health.
Ill health, right.
And I'm actually not fit enough to work, but through the government medicals for the employment support allowance, I failed that, even though my doctor and a consultant said that I wasn't fit enough to work. So they put me on an employment benefit.
Right, yeah. Great. That gives us quite a lot.
Because I was floating along quite happily until I was about 49, and then I had an accident and my whole life changed. So I've got mobility problems now.
Can I ask what that accident was?
I broke my heel bone and I couldn't walk for 4 months. Yeah.
So that's created quite a lot of trouble for you then?
Yes.
Something as simple as that seems ridiculous, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And
I also found I had a medical condition called hypermobility, which causes a lot of aches and pains and joint problems.
Right.
So as I say, I've worked my whole life until the last 2 years.
And that's kind of changed your life.
It just defines you quite differently.
Mm-hmm. What do you think? What would make you feel back in control?
I think the thing is the medical condition I've got is pretty unusual and unknown, and I don't think people realise how much it actually affects you. And I think also if they had a greater understanding at the medicals, if they took, instead of a doctor who's never seen you before, if they took a specialist consultant and your GP's word for it. I've got a huge big medical file at home about all the consultants I've seen, rheumatologists.
Is there one moment that sticks out in your mind, like if it was a scene in a play, to illustrate this point and how you are feeling about all of this? If there was one meeting with one of the consultants,
it was when
tell us a little bit about that.
When I went for the medical, my husband came along and I was quite in pain when they manoeuvred my limbs and stuff, and my husband had to help me to get dressed. And then when I got the letter saying I'd gotten 0 points because, as they considered, there was nothing wrong with me, I just felt like everybody thought I was a liar, and I just felt so low down because I thought, what have I got to do to prove I'm not fit?
Elicit specific stories if you've got them. Who do you think has most control in your life?
It is most control in my life.
Do you think?
Without sounding too posh, my happiness, my happiness, hoe ga ik zeggen? Wat heeft de meeste controle in mijn lichaam? In mijn leven.
Jezelf toch, denk ik, hè?
Ja, myself, my happiness, my family, my daughter, my husband, my other daughter, my grandchildren.
That's lovely.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that creates your happiness.
Yeah.
And so that controls you because you strive for that happiness.
Yes, I try to.
Have you ever had a time when you felt out of control?
Out of control? No, not really.
No, you've always felt like things have gone along well.
I have never been in great trouble or misery or out of...
Or had any great struggle?
No, not that I can remember. Is it true?
No.
I cannot.
You're a very lucky person.
I am, really, and I am aware of that.
Yes,
I appreciate it,
yes.
and I don't thrive in it, but I know it. I'm aware of that.
Yeah.
That is important.
Are there times where you think control is a useful thing?
Not all the time. You have to go out of control sometimes. I think that's quite important.
In what way would that be, do you think?
Yeah. Being here just today, shopping in Newcastle.
Yes, of course,
and
shopping.
spend the
Yeah.
money and buy a pair of trunks for your husband, and she's buying all. Yeah, that's a little bit out of control, but
Modestly out
yeah,
of control.
yeah, modestly, yeah.
Yeah, modestly out of control.
Still keep
oh,
the
that's a
little
lovely
bit.
thing. Modestly out of control.
Yeah, lovely.
That's her words, huh?
That's great.
And appreciate life and be aware of your happiness and all the things. It's not about money. It's not about. It's not about.
Do you think money does have a certain amount of control over people's lives, though?
Certain.
Do you think money has a certain amount of control in your life?
You
though?
shouldn't be out of your money. You shouldn't. But you how do you say it? You must have it, but not too much. That's not important. I have enough, but not too much.
Yeah.
I've got 2 yachts and 2 Mercedeses, but who cares? Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's great.
No?
I've got no wine today. Not yet.
Not yet, no.
Not yet.
Do you think as you get older, that sense, that kind of wisdom that you've obviously got comes with it? Can you think of a time when you were younger where maybe you felt out of control, maybe you weren't aware of?
I think I'm always. Also, when I was younger, then I had my children. I'm married. I married for 40 somewhat years.
Wow.
So, yeah, a long time
Wow.
now. Next year is 40 years.
40 years, wow.
And I lead a happy life. I am happy. I
Yeah.
hope my husband says the same when you ever meet him.
That's great.
That is out of my control, but I think he's
Yeah.
happy too. I think so.
And that's
But he's still there.
Yes.
So
Yes,
I think
yes.
that proves he's
He's at
happy.
home in Holland.
who has most control in your life?
Early age, it's your parents, I would have thought. From an early age, it's
From
your
an early
parents.
age,
And then when you start to develop yourself as a child into a teenage adult, you become the person, I think, who's in control.
So you're in control at the moment.
Yeah, I would say so, yeah, because no one else is making the decisions for me. It's my choice to do things.
Yeah.
Whereas when you're younger, your parents are guiding you and putting you through what they think is right.
Is there ever been a situation where you think the decision has been out of your hand and has been made for you as an adult? As an adult, yeah, as you know.
I don't know, no. I think, well, not personally, I can't think of anywhere I've been totally out of control or something is escalated where I don't have the power to stop it. I don't know about what you would
I
think.
just think I'd like my pay issues at work, out of my control, like
Right.
something like that. Where I can smoke's definitely out of my control.
Yeah,
I do not
yeah.
like not being able, freezing cold like in the winter. It's not right. I'm gonna get on my high horse, like
No,
my moral high
do,
horse now.
do.
I've got a big problem with the smoking ban. The government obviously has a massive control like over what we do. Personally, Newcastle United have too much control over me. Like it's, wherever they're playing, like I'll be there. So family weddings, no, like Newcastle are playing away today.
So your support of your team has got a lot of control over you.
Definitely, like,
So do you
definitely.
feel out of control in that situation then?
No, I've always got the choice, but the choice is usually going to be to pay the money and go and watch them.
Yeah.
So there is a choice. There's no kind of control really. But,
Yeah. So when you said, going back to when you said feeling cold and stuff like that, what's that to do with?
oh, that was just to be with outside, like in the freezing cold, like smoking a fag. Like,
right.
Again, control. Give people the choice. Give bars the choice to,
Yeah.
make their decisions. If they want to smoke in rooms, something like that. I won't get into that because we'll be here all day.
No, that's a good one. It's a good one. I don't think we've had the smoking one.
No,
But
we
it's
haven't
quite good because
actually.
I'm not a smoker, and whereas
Well,
I don't have the control if people were smoking around me. My control would be to leave.
I don't have control over people wearing aftershave. I don't like in the pub. I don't have control. Like the bars aren't clean properly and the stink of wee.
Yeah.
Gonna say it on film.
Yeah.
I love that. No control over someone's aftershave. I mean, it's the same as sitting on a bus. No control about who sits
And
on the
people's
bus.
BO as well.
Yeah, someone sits next to you. I suppose you could always
Control
move.
of that. Exactly. Has there ever been a point in your life where you felt out of control?
Do you mean where I've kind of lost it within myself and kind of? Is that-
Yeah, I suppose.
I don't know. I try and be
I
quite a
suppose-
relaxed person, but
So you've never felt out.
kicked that pool table when Arsenal scored against us about 6 years ago.
I guess it all comes down to
That
what
was
you
a bit out of
class
control,
as control, though, isn't it? It comes down to what your definition of control is. Like when you said, do you mean is it part of control over your life or control over like decisions, what you do, sort of thing? I guess it comes down to what you class control as. I've never lost control because I don't class what I class as losing control is very different to what someone else might class
Exactly.
as losing control.
Yeah.
It's like an alcoholic
Has
who had
no-
been off, who'd been drinking lots and lots and then tried to stop. Are they out of control because they start drinking? I don't know. It's just
Yeah.
definitions, isn't it?
It is.
I've been literally like stuck in limbo for so many years, and I've got absolutely no idea what to do.
Right.
So would you class that as being out of control?
No, it's just like I'm just trying to keep a balance.
And how do you go about that?
Well, just like okay, there's 7 days in a week, and just like picking up little bits and pieces in the newspapers, the headlines, on television, etc. So I'm just trying to put it together.
Right. So
Trying to make sense
Yes, exactly.
of this world in which we live.
Yes,
Yeah.
which is a very large zoo.
it is. Has there ever been a time where you have been out of control?
A few times.
Can you expand on that?
Alcoholism.
Right. So do you feel that that's controlled you? That
Well,
alcohol's controlled you?
No, the drink has just been, well, suppressing. A lot of feelings and thoughts. But I'm still here. I got knocked over the other day.
Did you?
Yep.
So you weren't in control of that situation then?
Yeah. That was like seriously right. It was like a screw up of the Green Cross Code.
Uh-huh.
I mean, for God's sake, I've been shot. Well, not shot, literally. I've been shot at, stabbed, slashed, beaten within an inch of my life. And at the end of the day, I'm still here.
So why were you shot, stabbed, slashed, and beaten within an inch of your life? You could not possibly have been in control of that situation. So that
Congratulations, you've just got yourself a winner.
So that must have been a period of time where you were out of control. Can you tell us how that came about?
Well, it's a long story, and I'll tell you when you're older.
Christ. I gotta get much older. Well, I can, but I don't want to get much older.
Before this interview, she actually just told me like she was 21. You must moisturise or some shit.
I'm old enough to be your mother. Bless you. So that's pretty serious stuff, though, that you have to deal with.
Yeah, well, everybody does have to.
No, I don't have to deal with that.
I mean, come on, it's like something as simple as when you wake up in the morning and you have to make breakfast for your
Yeah,
kids.
yeah,
When you go to bed
Yeah.
and fill up your hot water bottle.
yeah. That's simple, but that's not kind of having to deal with people shooting at me or stabbing me or having to deal with alcoholism.
Yeah, well, the problem is I'm still here.
That might not be a problem. How do you think you could take control of your life then?
Well, win the lottery.
You think
And
that's-
if I won the lottery tomorrow, I'll get down on one knee and then disappear.
So do you think money then has control?
Makes the world go round, and it's also the root of all evil.
Classic line.